Just waiting on YouTube, and we're live. Alright, let's copy the link and drop it in Discord. Yeah, just drop the link in the Discord there. So, today's live stream. Oh, well, people are here before I've even had a chance to stream. Hello, Thursday in Outer Space United, and hello, Dad. You see for the second time today. Yeah, this playtest is going to be, I've added more destructible objects. I've also added sound effects to them, so we're going to be testing that as well. So let me just get set up. So I'm trying to figure out, we don't want tornadoes to just go off the edge of the map immediately, but we also don't want to have a massive long drive. So let's split the difference. Let's go, instead of 10 kilometers is a bit too small and 20 kilometers is a bit too big, let's go right down the middle, 15 kilometers. That should be good enough for a playtest. And we'll generate the map. Let's just check. We've got some good long straight segments. Yeah, got some good east-west options, north-south options. So this should be good. Hit next. I don't want them to all be wedges. Let's do something like, let's see, what's this like? A bit on the weak side. Okay. Let's bump up the... do I need to bump up the cape or the helicity? Let's bump up the helicity first. Bump that up to 200. Oh, thank you, Scooch fan. Yeah, it's going well today. Had a good day today. It's 10 past 10 at night, local time, so I'm quite tired, but it's been a good day. Hope you're having a good day as well. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed playing the game. Is it number one? Like I said, the priorities to this game. Number one is that it's fun. And then I can't remember what the other ones are. I'm tired. Number one is that it's fun. Number two is that it looks epic. And then number three, realism comes in number three. So I do try and add realism when I can. But I'll always trade off realism to make the game more fun or to make it look more epic. I think we just need a touch more cape. I don't like the distribution of cape there. I go back and forth. Oh, okay. This could be good. Yeah, so it's not wedging out the entire time. But, yeah, should be interesting. If the weather starts warming up, it's 10 Fahrenheit right now. So I'll need to translate that into metric. 10 Fahrenheit in Celsius. That's going to be, that's sub-zero. Yeah, it's definitely sub-zero. Minus 12. Yeah, that's miserable. Yeah, I the exact same. I've actually got a countdown to spring with different milestones on it. So when we get, each time we'll have half an hour more daylight, or the sun rises half an hour earlier, or the sun sets half an hour later, like I tick it off on a calendar, just so I feel like we're getting towards spring. And hello, Real Smurf. Thank you for joining again. Does the core of does the core of the tornado shift around the tornado? It doesn't, but so it is just centered right now. But I was thinking of kind of offsetting the base of the tornado from the center, just so the tornadoes visually look a bit more different. I might do that on the next development live stream. On the map it does. So where the center of the tornado is, visually on the map, it's offset a bit just to make the damage trails a bit more interesting looking and not perfectly straight. So yeah, it does offset on the map, but in terms of the actual game, if you intercept bang on the center of where the tornado is, you will hit the core. Oh, hello, Neon. I was just watching your the recording of your live stream earlier today. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, for people who able to, click on Neon's channel here, click on his username, and it'll take you to his channel. He does excellent videos, not only of just this game, but yeah, he did do an excellent stream and some benchmarking videos as well. So definitely go subscribe and check those out. What new updates have been made? So the new updates. Let's start and I'll show. So I've added more. Oop. Okay. I'll need to untick the option to play the sound effects on Awake. What you heard here is all the new sound effects. So what I've done is I have a horror, like a horror sound effects bundle, and some of them have like sound like splintering wood, shattered glass, electrical sparks, and things like that. So I thought that's perfect for the game. So what I've done is added some logic so that when objects get destroyed by the tornado, it plays like a random sound effect, just so we've got a bit more. It's a bit more realistic when you can actually hear sounds. Oh, the tornado's going straight down in front of us. Also, these trailers, before they were all one solid unit, now the tractor, the trailer, and each individual bale of hay can get thrown as well. There's also solar panels, and we'll see those dotted around, cows and barns as well. So the barn just coming up here. Yeah, so if you hear that snapping, that is something getting destroyed by the tornado. Oh, hello, Gruda. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Hope you are too. Right, so just let's take a look at the environment here. It's already 0.4 per mile, and the environment is absolutely insane. So this thing's going to expand, so we need to try and get ahead of it. Oh, and fences as well. I've added fences. As you can see, I've conveniently placed myself on the wrong side of the fence, so now I'm stuck doing 40 miles an hour until I can find a gap in the fence. So we're going to see some pretty epic destruction in this one, along with the sound effects. You do it all for fun, yeah. That's the important thing, I think. If people aren't enjoying the game, it doesn't matter how realistic it is. If people are bored, or it isn't fun, then what's the point? I don't know if I can risk sneaking past this tornado. It's grown to half a mile wide now. It's 30 miles an hour. Like, these barns are going to disappear in a second. Whoa, let's look out for those. Right. Like I say, all the bales of hay are individual. Got a propeller coming at us. Oh, and a power line. And another power line. Right. So, you gotta be good at dodging things as well as intercepting tornadoes now. There's an extra layer of challenge on top of it. I'm surprised that barn's still alive. And here's our solar panels. They'll be gone in a second. Haven't seen any cows yet though. I was thinking of making an option so you can ride a cow, but have it like set its top speed to like 20 miles an hour, so if you're on foot you can ride a cow to safety. Barns are more like greenhouses. Those typical red. Oh yeah, I call them barns just because. Yeah, I imagine you can store animals in there. Because I've also got a separate greenhouse asset as well, which I could probably add. The shattered glass sound would go well with it. All right, I think we're in almost perfect position to intercept. I think if we go off road and head north just a little bit more. Right. The trees are moving. Come on. We've got to be careful it's slowed down, which means it could also suddenly zoom back up to like 40 miles an hour. Right, I think this is a good spot to... Let's do a manual deployment. And then we need to get on the road as soon as we can. Anything moving yet? I think we're safe. We're safe-ish. Oh, it's moving slightly north. I think we still need to take our escape route, which is going to be east to this road here. How wide's the tornado? Half a mile. Look, you can see the bales of hay getting ripped up there. I can hear something. Yeah, I can hear things breaking behind us. Where's the road? The plan was to escape east to get on the road. Right, then we'll head north again. Right, it's a bit intense right now. I will read the comments in a second. Is the tornado expanded or not? No, but it has got sub-votes in it. Let's go for another deployment. Quick recall. Let's see. I think it's going to hit right... So we'll wait till we get to this junction on the right. And I think maybe halfway up to there. Yeah, I think right about here. Let's do a manual deployment. I think we've got time. Yeah. Seems every time I deploy it, it takes a northward turn slightly. I still think we're placed well, right? We need to escape. Where's the truck? Right, let's do that first to add to the tension of trying to escape, and then we'll just watch as everything gets ripped apart behind us. Oh, this escape route kind of takes us into the path of the tornado. Not optimal, but we'll still go faster by staying on the road. Then once I've reached a decent spot to watch the tornado, I can catch up on the comments. Right, I think we're pretty much safe here. What we can do is we can go for another intercept along here. So let me just get to this crossroads, we can stop, watch the tornado, and I can reply to some comments. And of course, when I've planned for a north intercept, it decides to turn perfectly east. I'll catch up in a second. Let me check the comments. It looks like it's shrinking as well. It's down to 0.4 of a mile. Okay. Whoa. Intercepting an F4 on a car would be fun. Yeah, and challenging as well, because you'd have to have quite a lot of safety buffer, safety margin between you and the tornado, because the car would be so slow. Did I add power flashes? Not yet, but I have added like sort of electrical noises to the power lines when they get hit, so you'll hear like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a static kind of electrical sparking sound. But I do want to add those soon. Maybe make it the next thing. Power flashes and zooming in and out with the camera in VHS mode. Right. Let's do a quick recall. How we're doing on data. Our intercepts haven't been that successful, have they? Whoa, we've got 2 anomalies though. That's decent for such little data. Easter egg where you have a 1 in 10,000 chance to stop a tornado by shooting at it. What type of gun would you use for that? It'd have to be something long range, like a rifle. The minigame mode in the main menu. make a tornado surfing game. How would that work? Like, try and have like a parachute and try and reposition yourself so you stay afloat. I think that anything involving a tornado is going to have to be it's probably going to be too intense for the main menu. I could think of some sort of mini game. But that would have to be far in the future. Right now the focus is on all the like important core gameplay aspects. Right. Are we in the path? I think we'd be a little bit further south. Should you say how far and how high the tornado can throw it? Oh, I'm sure I'll accidentally manage to do that at some point today. Here it is. If I don't, I will drive into one at the end. Right, let's set probe camera. Oh, perfect placement. Now I just need to get away. Add tornado particles. I do want to add some more particle effects like mist and because you know when if you watch any footage of people like extremely close to tornadoes, you just kind of have like this mist of like I guess this mixture of like water vapor and dust getting kicked up from the ground. I would like to add that back in. It used to be in some earlier versions of the 2023 version. I want to add that back in because I think it'll it's a visual indicator that you're quite close to the tornado. Plus, it'll just look cool. How are we doing now? F3. Oh look, look. This is what it looks like. Right, look right up the eye of the tornado. So it looks like inside. If I zoom out, looking right up the center of the tornado there. Current wind fields have translation account in it. So I did try that. So I'm assuming by translation you mean, so let me hop out here so I can point with my mouse. So as the tornado's moving towards us, we've got this side of the funnel that's rotating slightly faster and this side of the funnel rotating away, so you need to kind of add the ground speed onto this side of the funnel and subtract it from that side. Why is this getting so weak? So that you've got different wind speeds depending on which side of the tornado. I did try adding that, but on the map the wind field was so lopsided. It just didn't look quite right. But it was something which I just tried quickly, so I think I need to try and add it back in and just fine tune it a bit because it was a bit. Whoa, this is getting close. Yeah, it just made the tornado tracks look really wonky. Right, I think we'll just do a quick deploy. And then, you can see how I took driving away there. What is barn roof going? Oops, I just crashed head on into the fence. No, don't I wonder if I can push the truck. This is... yeah, I need to implement that reset functionality, don't I? Maybe I'll just try and run away on foot. I'll just Bill Paxton it away from the tornado. I think this will make a pretty epic screenshot, actually. Let me just... Okay, now I just need to run away on foot. If I can. Actually, if I'm in the side of the car and the car gets lifted up, then we might end up wheel side down again. You hear stuff braking as the tornado's getting closer. Yeah, let's just sit and wait for it to pick us up and then we should be fine. Wall clouds, yeah. I need to get on the storm structure at some point. It's hard to prioritize everything. Like, there's so many things I want to do. It's hard to know which order. I think power flashes is quite a straightforward one to add. So I think I'll do power flashes next. Because if I had wall clouds, I then kind of change the logic. So there's like logic of how quickly the cell above the tornado forms, how quickly the tornado forms. I'll have to kind of interrupt that logic and add an extra step where first you got to wait for the wall cloud to develop and then the funnel cloud. So it's just a little bit more work to do, and I've got to make sure I get it done right. So I think this chase might be over. I may need to start a new one. Did we get any good data? Yeah, definitely need that reset button. Okay, let me just reload the game. Sorry about that. Yeah, I definitely need to get that truck reset option. I'll just set up the way it was before, so it's 15 kilometers. Generate the map. And get caught up on the chat now as well. How lopsided was it? Because in real life, it is. Let me see if I can find the picture, actually. I'll see if I've still got the picture. If I do, I'll debug.png. No, I got rid of it. It was like extremely lopsided, as in like one side was just like kind of normal width, the other one was like half the width of the map. One thing I did ask Codex to implement it for me. I think this might be one of those things I just need to kind of manually do. Oh, this could be interesting. Let's just bump up the helicity. Let's turn the path deviance down a little bit. How do I blend the tornado under the clouds? So I don't. I use lighting tricks to make it look like it is, the best that I can. From a really far distance, you can tell it's not blended, so I need to come up with some tricks when you're further away. But what I do is, in the shader, that renders the tornadoes, I've essentially overridden it and said treat the top of the volume like it's got something above it, so it kind of like always casts a shadow onto the top of the funnel. So that's how I did that. So when you're under the tornado and you're under the clouds, like, it looks right. Just when you get really far away and the viewing angle's a bit more shallow, it doesn't look quite right. It's just one of those limitations when you've got multiple volumetric things being rendered. There's not an easy way to blend them. Vehicle flip button. Yeah, I'm definitely going to add a vehicle flip button, which, like in the original one, it just resets you the right way up and sets you the right way up and just puts you like a meter or so above the ground. Alright, let's catch up with this tornado. Actually, should we set tornadoes to ultra? I saw Neon was streaming with them set to ultra and it looked really nice, so let's just do that. Yeah, thank you, Rainbow. So I'm just reading your messages now about the explanation of how it should be done. Yeah, what I can do, I can describe it mathematically, so that way it doesn't really matter which programming language you're familiar with. Because what I'd assume you'd do is, so this is moving northeast, so you'd take the angle relative to its movement vector and then take the cosine of that angle, so that here the ground speed's adding more at this edge because you've got the rotation plus the ground speed completely on this edge, but here it's moving kind of 90 degrees, so the ground speed has less of an effect here, and then subtract the cosine. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. to use the cosine of the angle relative to where it's moving. I need to find a road. Okay, oh, this is really nice for an intercept. Right, let's head east and get ahead of it. Rain wrap tornadoes would be awesome. Yeah, what my plan is for that is so I was already saying when you're far away from the cells, the tornado kind of overlaps a bit and doesn't look quite right. So what my plan is at a distance, it's actually going to render rain instead of a tornado. And then, so it'll be like volumetric rain, not like the particle rain that you can see here. Then as you get closer, that rain will start to fade away until you see the tornado. Then I guess I could randomize how close you have to be to the tornado for the volumetric rain to fade, so that if you have to be really close, you've got essentially a rain wrap tornado, and if you're really far, then you kind of got like a low precipitation one. Right, where's our intercept spot? Ooh, I'm going to take this next dirt road and go a little bit further up. Have we got some cows on the road here? Kind of purposely placed them so that they can be in the way on the road. They are immovable right now though. I've also got some animated cows, but it'll take a little bit longer for me to wire those into the game because I'll have to design the animation controller to like move them around and things. I'll have to remind myself how animations work in Unity. Vector 2 minus vector 1 and then get the normalization. You could use that as a radial vector as a tangential vector. And you add the actual vector of the translation to that. Okay, I'll have to reread that off stream. Oh, see some cool destruction there. See that stuff getting flung around there. Yeah, I'll have to I kind of get what you mean there, because you can use the cross product to get a vector 90 degrees from another vector. Which I've used that trick before and some other things. So yeah, I think that would definitely be. So I can, yeah, use cross product of the ground movement vector. Oh wow! I think we just have to do quick deploy. And then let's load up the probe camera. Zoom out a bit. Okay. I'm still going to have to take my escape route here. That thing is closing in fast. What's its ground speed? Only 20 miles an hour. Maybe I'm just close then. It feels like it's moving much faster than 20. What's the maximum wind speed in game? I've set it to 318 miles per hour, because I think isn't that the highest recorded in the Bridge Creek Moor tornado? Is it moving this way? No, I can see right to left movement. Oh, we're inside the tornado here. I think we might be inside the funnel. Yeah, we are. Look at that. We're inside. We'll add the different types of rain. Depends on like types of rain. Like I think you've suggested before about having the rain affected by the wind. I definitely need to add some logic just to make everything affected by the wind, so both the rain effects and the vegetation and trees as well. Probe's on the other side of it now. Let's do a quick recall. Right, let's figure out our next intercept. How we're going to get up here. I don't want to drive away. Oh, we've got no real good options here. I think we'll bridge the gap to the cornfield, drive north, and then bridge the gap to there. So if we head east, we should get near a cornfield. And I want to be on the upper corner. Let's head more north. Let's head this way. Ever had an air cannon like the one Timber had? If I can get like a 3D model for it, which I could use AI for, or the animations for it, and it's not like using his actual design, I could do something like that. .321 was more. I can always bump it up 3 miles an hour then. Cross the radial vector by the upward axis, which is tangential in terms of. Yeah, let me. I'll shoot you a DM after explain how I was thinking to do it mathematically. I also have to remind myself as well which one's radial, which one's tangential. Radial is directly in towards the tornado, isn't it? And tangential is like the one that's 90 degrees from. So tangential is like essentially your twisting motion, whereas radial is the suction winds directly into the tornado. Then I guess your axial would be your vertical winds, if I've got that right. Like heavy, medium, and light rain. Well, I kind of already have that, so the intensity of the rain changes depending on where you are on the radar. It's just because I spent so much time near the core, it just appears to be heavy all the time, but that's just because of my proximity to the tornado. Is this a good spot to deploy? I think we're getting a bit too close here. You can hear the wind really roaring there. I'm only doing 40 miles an hour in front of it, it's half a mile wide. Right, we're gonna have to... Right. Quick deploy. There we go, and I'm just gonna have to try and outrun this thing. I'm doing 40 miles an hour, that's doing 30, so I should be making some progress. Water tower's getting ripped apart there. Whoa. And yes, we're getting wrecked behind us. There's something in there. Oh, there's the trees. Wind turbine's going to be the next to go. Oh, a road. Right. Turn 90 degrees. I have to drive at the tornado so that I can take a faster route. Oh, it only goes to here. Right, drive here and then turn left. It's closing in fast. More stuff getting thrown. Whoa, some of those bales of hay are absolutely launched. Okay, I feel like I'm at a safer distance now. Is it moving along this road? Right, if I head east, I can go for another intercept. Oh, this is risky. What's the probe doing? Okay, let's get that back. We'll get ready for another deploy. See some barns get wrecked. Oh, it's shrinking slightly. But, alright, we're gonna have to go off-road here. Let's head east. Hopefully we can stay ahead of it. Right, let's do a quick deploy. Let's open the probe camera in the corner. And now we've got to play this stay out of the way of the tornado game. looks like it's weakening. It could be faking us out, and it could like quadruple in size. Where's the road? Looks like there's a road here. Yeah, let me take a look at the map. Right, quick recall. Right. Cape, there's plenty of Cape and Helicity here. I reckon we head east, so we're heading north. Oh, we're heading north here. We're heading north, because it's going to plant down again any second. Head east, and then we can set up, because look, a lovely road grid there. Plenty of options there for intercept. So let's head east now, because it's going to come down again. I think we'll take the second left. Let's get ahead of it for another intercept. Then I will try and catch up on the chat again. Sorry, it's really difficult to keep switching between the two with how fast-paced the game is. Oh, I think it's this one going multi-vortex. Nice. So if it continues northeast, it's probably going to be about here. Stop here, we can do a manual deployment because it looks like it's moving a lot slower now. Oh, 25 miles an hour, maybe not that slow. Third of a mile wide, right. Let's watch it, and then if we're in a good spot, we can intercept. So let me check on the chat. Other things you can see, like radar, okay. For the menu, radar kit. I'm not sure what you mean, because we already have reflectivity, capability. So I'm not sure what you mean there. You said visibility decreases as the rain gets heavier. Yeah, what I need is something like mist or fog. I have to see. I'll probably have some particle effects like that stored somewhere. Right, let's do this deployment, and then I can use those to decrease visibility. It's just dealing with different transparencies. Like if you've got multiple items with different transparencies in Unity, you've always got to manually manage the order that they're rendered in, which adds a little bit of overhead. So I've just got to make sure whatever I add renders in the correct place and looks right. Probe camera. Let's see how we're done. Flip the UE, and we'll just watch from here. It gives us a little bit more contrast with the VHS camera. Geologically, where would this game roughly take place? Satellite tornadoes. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's on the to-do list, like vorticity noodles, wall clouds, satellite tornadoes. Just need to, have the time to add them into the game. Where would this game take place? Now, in my head, I'm imagining like Iowa or something like that. I've spent a lot of time hunting for Twister filming locations around Iowa. I spent a lot of time on Google Street View, and I think the way the game looks, I think more closely matches Iowa than it does Oklahoma. Plus, I just love how Iowa looks. It's a beautiful state. Let's do a quick recall. How much data we've got? For these intercepts, hardly got any data, have we? Some F1, some F2, some F3. Doesn't mean that great of an intercept. Let's go for another one then. It's turning more east. Let's see if we can get one more good intercept. Oh, sorry, just connect AirPods. Sorry, one second. My AirPods disconnected and I don't want the game playing out the speaker on my laptop. There we go. Right, are we in a good intercept spot? I reckon we go get on this road. Because then that gives us, yeah, we head a little bit further south, just a little bit further south. Once we get on that road, we're in a good position to do an intercept. Yeah, perfect. I reckon we'll place the probe right on the corner here. It's kind of a different type of data. Let's do temperature data now. And we'll kind of just watch stuff get ripped up, and then once the wind speed's here, get to about 70, then I'll hop in the truck and we'll drive off. We want to get in, what, F1, F2, F3 strength speeds, so it's only moving 11 miles an hour. Yeah, I need to add some forest tiles to the map generator. Real Smurf suggested that last time. Yeah, I definitely need some dense forest. They'll be render only though, so you'll see them, but they won't interact with the tornado. Yeah, it definitely does add some variety and some life to the map. I think we're still safe. It's only 40-mile-an-hour winds here. Oh, is it dying out on us? It's not even worth trying to escape. Yeah. Down to F2 strength. Looks like it's going to rope out. Yeah, let's put it back in the truck. It's lifted again. It could plant down again. Let's just drive a little bit further here, and then what we want to start thinking of is if the cell ropes out, we want to be back in the bottom left corner, so you find a good route back there. It's hard to make the trees dynamic. Not impossible, but I'd have to think how I'd do it. Because to render lots of vegetation efficiently, you kind of have to render them statically on the GPU. So you can't really change materials or move things around. Or you can have the option to move them around and change materials, but then it puts more strain on the hardware. I think it's worth trying to intercept this if it's only F1 strength. It looks like it's about to die out again. Could use Neon's idea for the next chase, where he created essentially what would be like a cage fight with the tornado. Where he just created like a 5 kilometer by 5 kilometer map surrounded by hills, and was just a road grid in the middle, and just set everything to max. try that if people wanted to see that. Let's see, how's this cell doing? Is it alive or is it dying? Should we do a cage match next? Let's do a cage match. Let me restart the game. Yeah, I do eventually need to make it so you can just go back to the menu in game. So set to 5 kilometers by 5 kilometers. Yeah, I've got this idea of Neon. He invented this, I guess, game mode. So you just set hills around the side, so you've got nowhere really to escape to. Let's get a blank tile just for the corners. What we can do is just add random tiles in the middle. Let's see. It's fine to just have that like that. Fine to have that like that. I think I'll add a few more roads. Let me just fix those. There we go. Maybe this one needs to be a crossroads. Let's add a few more roads along here. So instead of being a bend, that can be a T-junction. So can that. And then we can connect these up. And if we connect that onto this, so this can be a T-junction as well, and so can that, and let's see, that can be a T-junction as well, as can that. Right, so we've got a little bit of a road network there. Set everything to max, and set max tornadoes to 20. If you look at the preview is insane. Except this preview kind of shows all the tornadoes simulated at once. Whereas when you load the game, it'll actually wait between 3 to 5 minutes between each tornado being spawned. But we'll just see how long we can survive for. So this has an intensity of 721. Let me quickly look up what the highest one ever was. So the highest ever was the 1974 Super Outbreak with an outbreak intensity score of 578, followed by 2011 with 383. So yeah, this chase should be quite intense. Get away with unbound system. Never supposed to have the trees just lod out, essentially. I guess that depends on your proximity to them. Like the aftermath of tornadoes, dynamic. I could load in different. I guess I could switch models out. So keep since we've got the damage trails. We can keep track of how much wind each area of the maps experience, and then we could swap out like damaged tree models and damaged house models depending on the intensity there, so that you do kind of drive and end up driving through like the aftermath of a tornado. But it could just be decided when each tile's loaded. I noticed the headlights stopped working. The lighting does something weird when you have a lot of cells close to each other. I haven't figured that one out. The universal render pipeline has some limitations on what you can do with like number of lights in a scene. I'm not sure what those limitations are off the top of my head. Okay, perfect place for an intercept. Stuff's getting broken, I can hear it. Yeah, this is Neon's idea, so I'm not taking credit for this. I just thought it was a fun thing. Set a small map, max everything out, and then just try and survive the chase. .6 of a mile. I wonder if this will go up to a mile. That's from the pro point of view. Not sure how well I placed it. Maybe the tornadoes both particle and fluids, like Rainbow suggested. Yeah, I'll have to figure. I do want to do that because anything I can do to improve the visuals, I'm definitely want to try. It's just figuring out which particles, how do they get placed, how do I make them blend well with what's already there. I feel like we might have placed ourselves. Yeah, we're in the path. We're actually better placed here. Let's do a quick recall. What's the wind? Oh, it's getting 100 miles an hour. Let's get to about here. Quick deploy, and then try and escape. See, where are we? Let's watch from the probe. Did we place the probe well? I feel like this thing's still closing in on us. Yeah, it's time to go. Yeah, I guess that's a good side effect of having the tornadoes die quickly. You can play smaller maps, you don't have to sit around and wait for ages. I hope you're not the only one who thinks it looks like the F5 from Twister. That is pretty much my inspiration for. So in the 2023 version as well, it's this one. That's like my favourite looking tornado like ever in a movie. So yeah, thank you for that. I take that as a massive compliment if it looks like the F5 from Twister. Oh, I've got to have a second tornado going up. What I may do, let's just turn the quality down from ultra to high, just because we're going to have a lot of these. And let's go for a second intercept. We've got a right turn coming up. Oh no, we've passed it. Yeah, look, this is turning. Okay, if we put ourselves in a position where we can't actually take that south road now. Not necessarily. I'm just going to have to be really quick about it. Really, really quick. I may have left it too long. If I can keep my speed up, I might be alright. But I'm only doing 60 miles an hour with my foot to the floor. We're about to get Jonas'd here. But at least I can still do a quick deploy and get some data before we get lifted. See the inside of the tornado from there. And we're on the other side. The question is whether it actually sets us down or not. Oh, what's the width of that other tornado? Yeah, look, now that there's like 2 tornadoes. Oh, it's thrown us from one tornado directly into the path of another one. Now we're going to get lifted by this one. There's actually a clip somewhere posted on Reddit. It was a clip from somebody else's stream where tornadoes essentially played pass with them. It's in the older version of the game where they got flung from one tornado into another and then flung out again. Let's try and fly again. Has the design tool been updated with the newer simulations? It hasn't. That'll take quite a lot of updating because I've changed the rendering logic a lot since I released the design tool. Yeah, you got the same things happening there with the getting hit multiple times. Yeah, it's one of those trade-offs with the bigger map. I think if you can get on a tornado quick enough, so if it doesn't spawn too far from you on a bigger map, it's fun to track it through its full life cycle. But if you're having to drive to catch up, then you just kind of have like, you could have like a 30-40 minute chase of just driving after a tornado and never catching up with it. So it's like a risk-reward thing. It's more risky with the bigger map, but the payout's more fun. You have a lot more fun if you actually get onto a tornado with that. But look at all that debris. Wait till we've got warning residents as a game mechanic as well. It'll be even more intense because you can't just escape for yourself. You've got to have other people escape as well. Look at that bottom, that's spinning like a top. I think we're surviving alright so far. Oh, is our probe going to get another hit? Yeah, we're getting F4 strength, F5 on our other probe that's been hit twice. So that is an F5 strength tornado. Just really narrow at the base. There goes the water tower. Are those solar panels or fence posts? It's hard to tell from this distance. That's why being able to zoom in with the VHS camera would be cool. And here things getting smashed. That's what it looks like from the other side of the tornado. You can see from two sides at once. We're on the backlit side and that's on the frontlit side. Oop, there goes a tree. I asked earlier, but do you plan on diagonal roads? Ah, yeah. I don't know why I've just strictly stuck to a grid. Yeah, there's no reason why I can't have diagonal roads. I do need to set aside some time. Look at that. I do need to set aside some time just to add more tiles, like the forest tiles people have asked for, rivers. I think having bridges over rivers would be cool. Who is going to put us down? There go the trees. Let me just get the probe back. So far, 2 tornadoes seem to be fine. Haven't seen any cows get lifted yet. I'm not even sure if we've got any cows on this map. Here come the trees. Oh, just got hit by a tree there. There's nothing else getting destroyed. Oh, is it weakening now? We're getting towards the edge of the map. I've got another tornado now, spawning at the bottom corner. Right, we need to head southwest. Alright, there's our other tornado. Let's drive towards that. Try and get some intercepts. Is there any way to make the debris in loft physics less floaty? Lacking in drag, and the wind feels like accelerates objects too light. Yeah, I need to tweak the parameters. Maybe we can have like a live stream where I kind of tweak those parameters. They'll all have like a random lift coefficient and random drag coefficient added. But I've kind of just set them somewhat randomly because I'm not sure exactly what the physical effect will be on the debris. So yeah, they are a bit floaty right now. Maybe I can bump up either the weight. They'll have mass, drag, and lift. The tornado behind that looks wide. It's 0.6 of a mile already. Ah, it's shrinking though. Oh, there's a tree. Let's outrun the tree. Barely see the road. If we take a left, then we can deploy it on the other side of the cornfield, hopefully before it's that road. Can we get in the path and deploy before we can catch it up with us? Maybe we'll do a quick deploy. No, we're going to end up inside. The objects get taken up in then a linear direction by whatever it was initially applied with force. We might be sounded by force on that side. Yeah, I know you mean like the debris. Yeah, it's a bit floaty. I do need to tweak how the physics is applied to that. I'll have to double check the code, but I'm sure I'm adding a force. I think add an impulse for the torque to kind of twist them in a random direction. Then a force to actually... I'll have to double check the code again. Maybe using the wrong force mode on the objects. Can't see anything here, so I'm just going to try and drive up and into the tornado. Oh, out of bounds now. proportional the velocity to the wind velocity and the wind velocity. Ah, okay, so rather than just... Yeah, kind of like a PID controller in a way. You've got its existing velocity, its target velocity, then you apply some force based on the existing wind speed. The difference between the object's speed and the wind speed. So as the object starts to approach the speed of the wind, you apply less and less force. Let me get inside the map. I will have to end the stream in a few minutes. This is getting quite late. What I'll do is I'll wait for the sun to rise. We'll go for one more intercept. So we've got this 0.6 mile wide one here. So I need to be heading west. Why is it I'm going southwest? Let's intercept this tornado here. I think we'll try for one more quick intercept off-road, and then we'll have to, unfortunately, end the stream. And northwest, trees getting lifted up. Actually, right. Probably going to get lifted, so I'm just going to have to do a quick deploy about here to collect data. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to escape it here. Yeah, it is. Yeah, all the debris getting flung way too hard. Yeah, I think I may hold off on the update for tonight until I can tweak the physics a bit more. Get it more realistic. Can I make so the trees are stripped of leaves and bark if the tornado is strong enough? I can't do that right now because I'd need models of the exact same trees, but with removing the leaves, as I could probably do. But bark would be a different one because I'd need like a custom model of the tree made. Well, look at the tornado now, it's moving almost 40 miles an hour. Well, that's getting thrown in. How's our probe doing? I think it's out of the tornado now. Still getting F3 samples, so how are we doing on data? Oh, a lot more successful than the last chase. Finish analysing the data, then I will have to end the stream and sign out. Can I just change the textures? I could change. I guess I could change the entire tree texture, but I'd have to have it like UV mapped to the exact same tree that I've already got. Because these trees are from nature manufacturer. So I didn't model these trees. These are prefabs that I bought. Okay, I know things are quite epic right now, but I will have to end the stream. So thank you everybody for joining. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this and you're not already subscribed. There's also links to the Discord and the game page on Steam in the description of the video if you need those. But yeah, I need to get some sleep and hopefully I can make some more progress on the physics tomorrow. So have a good day, everybody who's joined, and I'll be live again probably tomorrow night as well. Yeah, signing off now.